You're listening to the simulated sound of a Warbird engine inside an electric RC plane. This is made possible by a sound system created by Mr. RC Sound. In this video, I'm going to show you how I installed the sound unit in my airfield P-51. But first, let me show you how it works. As throttle inputs are made, the simulated engine noise responds. There is also an option using another aux channel to trigger gun sounds and LED lights. This unit is very loud, but it comes with a volume control which allows you to turn it down when working in close quarters. Right below the volume control is the connect point for an additional speaker. In this installation, I'll only be installing one speaker. I do not plan to install the LED gun lights in this video. After a couple test flights, I will connect the gun lights here. This RC sound unit comes with 4 engine sounds, which are set using this dip switch. In this video, I'll be using the Merlin engine sound mode. Here's a look at some of the connections. There's a servo plug for the engine sound and another for gun sounds. There are 2 ways you can install the unit. You can run the engine sound to an unused aux channel and configure a mix in your radio, or you can use a Y cable. In this video, I'll be using the Y cable. You will also need to prepare a connection to an alternative power supply for the engine sound unit itself. Okay, here's a look at the belly of the airplane where we'll be installing the sound unit today. Before you start making cuts on the airplane, make sure all the servo wires are clear inside the fuselage. Okay, the next step is to map out where you plan to make your cut. On the airfield P-51, which you see here, I found that the best place to make the cut was right in front of the intake on the bottom of the airplane. I'm marking out a 2" by 2" square cutout that will serve as the outlet for the sound unit that will be installed inside the plane. One thing to remember when doing this, the speaker will not be flush with the bottom of the airplane. For the best audio performance, the hole on the bottom of the plane should be at least 1 3/4 inches square. I'm going to be cutting this hole 2 inches square. When making the cut, you will need a very long knife edge, at least 5 or 6 inches long. After the 2x2 hole has been cut, you'll then need to clear away some of the foam inside the plane to make room for the sound unit. In this picture, you can see the edges that the sound unit will rest on. To secure the sound unit, I'll be attaching 2 Velcro strips inside the plane to hold the unit in place. This is a good time to check the dip switch settings. I found the settings changed during installation when I moved the unit in and out of the plane. If you're ready to install LED gun lights, this is also a great time to make that connection. On the right hand side, you will also see that I taped over the dip switch setting to protect it during installation. With the unit in place, I'm now ready to install a screen cover over the opening. I traced around the opening with CA, and then I applied the screen covering over the opening. After masking off the area, I then applied a very light coat of metallic silver paint. This project requires a lot of wire management, and I'm afraid this is not a pretty picture. But make sure in your final installation that you route all of your servo wires away from the unit, which can make a lot of heat and could damage some of the insulation around some of your servo wires. On the airfield P-51, You'll also have to make a modification to the canopy. A portion on the forward part of the canopy will have to be trimmed away, and the pilot will have to be moved back slightly. We're almost ready to go flying, but first I wanted to show you where I'll be installing a camera that'll capture the sound and video from under the plane. Now the installation is complete. Please click the next video to see and hear how this plane sounds in action.